Famicom Friday.
Famicom Friday.
連続技がすごい。貯めるとすごい。このバトル半端じゃない。ヴァンパイアハンターセガサターンに新登場。カプコン。
What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Happy Beard Games, and today is a Friday, a Famicom Friday, right here in Happy Beard Games. Now, this week's video, is going to be a little bit shorter, so we're going to jump in really quick here with the game Darkstalkers, also known as Vampire Hunter Darkstalkers Revenge, which I believe this is one of the sequels to Darkstalkers. Now, Darkstalkers is one of Capcom's other big fighting game series. In addition to Street Fighter, which was published and developed by Capcom, there is Darkstalkers, which is basically, it's kind of like a Street Fighter. It shares many similarities. It's a fighting game, tournament fighter, two-dimensional. The main shtick with Darkstalkers that is not in Street Fighter is all the characters are based off horror or monsters. Horror characters or monster characters. So let's check out the game Darkstalkers or Vampire Hunter Darkstalkers Revenge for the SEGA Saturn today on Hybrid Games' Famicom Friday. So we've got arcade and option, which is sadly a lot more limited than Street Fighter Alpha 2 was. There's no time attack, there's no survival, there's only arcade. There's not even a story, really. There is a little bit of text here and there, but it's just arcade. You might be able to unlock some other things, I'm not sure. And I believe each character has their own individual story, so you do gotta beat it with every character, which I talked about on my Street Fighter video. Go to Start, now loading. Brief load times on this CD. Okay, we got Turbo and Normal, which once again I'm going to leave it as Normal, which I believe gives you the default settings. We've got Dimitri, who I believe is basically a Dracula or a vampire. We've got Galen, which is a Wolfman. Victor, I hope there's no time limit here, who is a Frankenstein monster. We got Lele, who I believe is a Japanese demon or yokai, or maybe she's a hopping vampire, which is a type of Japanese yokai. Where it's like a jumping or hopping vampire. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I think that's what she is. Zabel, which is a zombie. And funny enough, he has like the British flag on him, on his leg, so maybe he's got like a punk rock thing going on. Morrigan, who is a succubus, which is like the female version of an incubus, which is like a demon that attacks you in your sleep, pretty much. It's like a dream demon of sorts. Ankaris, I think it's Anarcharis or Ankaris, which is a Egyptian mummy. We got Pyron, who I think is one of the final bosses or something. I've played this before on the Switch collection. I don't know what he is. It's like a ghost or something, or like a demon. Phobos, which is it kind of looks like an Incan or Mayan, maybe, sculpture or something like that. Like a sculpture of like a god or deity or demon, maybe. I don't know, but that's what it looks like. But it also looks like a robot, so it's kind of weird. We got Sasquatch, which is based on the urban legend or mythological creature Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Donovan, which I don't know, he's the most like normal of these guys. He's not really a monster. I think he's like a monk or something, which is weird. I think Donovan and Lele are probably the most normal people in here. Definitely Donovan he's just like a monk with like spiritual powers or something. I don't know. We got Albath, who is a merman slash like a cryptid merman. We got Bishamon, which is also relatively normal. He's a samurai slash demon. He has like a monster for his chest, and he can actually cut people in half, which is slightly gory. I mean, it's gory in this, for this context. And then you got Felicia, who is she's a cat demon. She's a cat girl, I kind of want to choose Morrigan, because that's the character that I'm the best as. I'm also pretty good as Felicia, but I haven't played this game too much. I've just played as those two on Marvel vs. Capcom. But that's how I know their moves and stuff. But Sasquatch sounds really interesting too. I kind of want to play as Sasquatch. So if I die, I'll switch over to Sasquatch, but for now, we're checking Morrigan. I'm just going to leave Auto Guard on just in case, give me a little bonus. Her hairstyle changed because I pressed the start button. From its normal green to blonde, which is okay. She's blonde on the back too, so I don't know. Maybe she's supposed to be blonde in this one. I don't know. I think her hair is normally green or a light green. Okay, let's fight the first fighter, which should be Felicia in the casino stage. Now, I've played this a little bit before. Ow! That was a combo. I don't like that. What? Who won? Oh no! She beat me, and she turned into a kitty cat. Oh my god. First, that's not a good sign, guys. We gotta do a little bit better this time. Oh my gosh, that was cool. I never saw that before. Okay, we KO'd her on this second round for the first fight. Now, yeah. I don't really know the exact rules of this one. With Street Fighter Alpha, there was a super meter on the bottom. This one, it looks like there's a special meter on the top. Morgan's is flashing 3. I don't really know how to do the combos in this one, per se. I know how to do like a light combo, but not any like super combos, so I'm fairly new to this game. Oh my god, you see your face? I'm gonna do a zoom in on that face, because that was ridiculous. That was like some Simpsons art style there. Oh, what? That didn't get her? Okay, that got her. Now, I am only on the second difficulty level, which is like apparently like easy or very easy. It's not super easy. But this game is pretty difficult, especially since I haven't played it. I don't know the super combos. With Morrigan at least, and also I think it's a little bit harder just by default compared to Street Fighter Alpha 2. I think Street Fighter Alpha 2's arcade mode was easier, because on that, with Chun-Li, I can at least do... I did all survival with Chun-Li, I did all of arcade mode like 2 or 3 times with Chun-Li and other characters, but with this one, it's a little tricky and new to me. Now we're fighting Sasquatch in the Sasquatch den, which is really cool looking. I like doing this move, that grab where she picks him up. Maybe that is... Did a little bit better that time. Maybe because we had a slower enemy rather than the fast Felicia. We had maybe a Sasquatch trying to be a little slower. Weird how she does that skid across the floor thing when she gets up. It's kind of neat. Whoa! That is a big foot. So beat Sasquatch. That wasn't too hard. I know we're on the second difficulty still. But the last match was a little tricky. I don't know why. Now, one thing I want to point out, on some versions of Darkstalkers, I think it's later entries, because I think there's like 4 of these games. I have a collection of it on Nintendo Switch. But on some of the later ones, they do that thing where, like on Killer Instinct, where you get knocked out, you just get right back up. On this one, they have separate rounds when you get knocked out, or if your opponent gets knocked out. On later entries, I believe later entries of Darkstalkers, you can do the thing where you just get up and fight right away, which is really cool. It's something they borrowed, I believe. I think they did it based on Killer Instinct, but they might have done it before Killer Instinct. I don't know, I could be wrong. But I know Killer Instinct does that too, and that's a really cool game too. Speaking of Killer Instinct, did Killer Instinct ever get a Super Famicom release? For some reason I feel like it should have, but maybe it didn't. I don't think I've ever seen a Super Famicom copy of Killer Instinct. Yeah, this werewolf guy's blocking a lot. Oh my gosh, he burned my clothes. Now you can see that this game doesn't really need too much of a translation. It does for the story content. What little of it there is. In between fights, there'll be like text, like winning text and stuff like that. And I believe there's an ending cutscene too. But you can see a lot of it's already in English. So if you're planning on importing this game in particular, this is a good choice to go with. It's relatively inexpensive. I bought this version with the damaged cover art for, I believe, $18. Maybe even less because I got a deal bundle. But yeah, it's a really good one, especially since there's no real language barrier. You can look up combos and stuff like that online, of course, or you can check the manual if you have it. Fireballs, yum! Guess what that quote's from. It's from the Super Mario Brothers Super Mario World show where Baby Yoshi says, "Fireballs, yum." I don't know why I want to say that, but it actually leads me into my next topic, which is, did you know there's a Darkstalkers anime? I haven't seen the anime, but there's also a localized United States or North American region cartoon based on Darkstalkers, similarly to how they did like a localized Street Fighter. There was a localized like Darkstalkers like cartoon show. I don't know when it aired or if it aired very briefly. It was probably like, I feel like it would have been in my time because like it's not an 80s game. But there was a Darkstalkers cartoon. You can look it up online. I've seen a little bit of it. I think I've seen one whole episode, maybe. It wasn't like too bad, but compared to like an anime and the game, it's a little cringe. I mean, it's cringe in a different way than an anime would be. It's kind of like your like Fox Kids, you know, like Saturday morning cartoon, but it's Darkstalkers, and it seems like it'd be heavily toned down. But a lot of the characters pretty much resembled the characters from this game. They're not like too off from what I saw, at least. It had Morrigan. I think it had Felicia in it. I think they might have had to tone down Felicia a little bit because of the way she looks, basically. But yeah, it looked kind of like interesting. Kind of looked like maybe not so much anime style, but it kind of looked like the X-Men animated series. A little bit, or like even the Street Fighter. The Street Fighter that was in, because there was multiple Street Fighter animated series. There was the anime from Japan, which I believe was a movie. And then there was like an actual animated series, which was, you know, even though it might have had a lot of Asian artists, it was like a localized North American show. And it was its own complete separate thing. It wasn't an adaptation. It wasn't a dub. It wasn't anything like you know, with Pokemon, they did the 4 Kids. It's not like that. It's like it's its own separate show. It's not really like they changed anything. It's just its own thing. Based on Darkstalkers. And it's official Darkstalkers. It's weird. It's not like it's a knockoff or a different name. It's the actual series. Oh, she can run in the air. That's cool. Alright. Oh, wait. Was that the second fight? Oh, yeah, okay. She got me the first time. That confused me. I forgot she got me the first time. Okay, let's be a little careful. Or else I'll have to switch to Sasquatch. Even though that might not be a good choice, considering how easy Sasquatch was when I fought him. It's a different kind of grab I can do, I guess. I like the grab where she brings it up in the air more. Oh! I think out of all the characters so far, Lele has like the most extreme moves. Maybe not in damage, but, well, maybe. But just in visual effects, they just look crazy. Like, she has giant claws that come out. She has like a hook shot type thing. She has that boomerang, which isn't that really exciting. But she has some crazy moves, and the animation is excellent in this game. And before I forget, the music's really good in this game too. And if you listen really carefully, I love Morrigan's like victory theme. Morrigan's theme is so good in this game. I love it. And here's a fun fact: if you ever listen to the rapper, what's his name? Del the Funky Homo Sapien. If you ever listen to him, he has a track called Protoculture, which is all about video games. It's a rap all about video games, and it uses Morrigan's theme from Darkstalkers as its backing track. It's really cool, and I'd really advise you to go out and give it a listen if you like rap music. If you don't like rap music and you just like video games, you might get a kick out of it. Because I don't like all his music, but I like a few songs by Del. And, so like, he has one that's like basically like a video game rap, kind of like something that Mega Ran would have done. But I think he did it first, and so it's really cool to hear that. And he talks about, I think he talks about Darkstalkers in the song too, but he also talks about like a bunch of other video games. It's really good, a really good one. Highly recommend that. It's Protoculture by Del the Funky Homo Sapien. You might know him from the song If You Must, or maybe the song, he did a few songs with Gorillaz on their first album. He did like 2 different songs with Gorillaz, at least 2, on their first album, which is a really good album too, by the way. There's actually, another fun fact, Gorillaz' first album, the one that's just called Gorillaz, was the first CD I ever bought on my own. Oh my gosh, electricity. We gotta be careful now. Did I get him? Did I get him? No. Oh, he dodged! No! Yes! That was crazy. I know we're just on easy mode. We're just playing it pretty good. We're on easy mode, but when you get a close match like that, it's still super exciting. I slammed him. He only had a little bit of health left. As we've noticed in this game so far, you can survive for a little bit with just a smidge of health. Like, not even like an invisible amount of green on your health bar. No. Got him once again. Another close call. That means the game's getting harder as we progress. Oh, look at those little ghosts out there. The one that had sunglasses on, I think. Wow, that was a zombie character. I don't know if we're going to fight against every single fighter. It looks like there is maybe 8 fighters total and maybe a boss afterwards. We'll see. Let's see what we got. Oh no, there's 10. So it might be all the characters. And they're fighting against... I'm fighting against myself here, so... when we got this clone match, it's like... I think that means that we're fighting against everyone. This game only has an arcade mode. It doesn't have a survival as far as I've... So I'm fighting her in her default costume, which you might be more familiar with. Well, not costume, but colors. Morgan's stage music is really good, too. Which one won? A little happy dance there. Now, she's a really interesting character because she's like your typical like vampire style succubus. You know, but she's got like robotic parts and machine parts. I don't really understand the story behind that. Yeah, like, it makes like a jet sound when you like fly forward. I'll show you that. She has like a Hadoken type thing, but it might be a gun. I don't know. She's got those tentacles that come out that are like spiked. They kind of like Doc Ock. That was close too. I feel like this is the right difficulty for me personally to play as, to practice with. Is if I do any easier, it's just going to be like a breeze. Like, nothing's going to happen if I play on the super easiest difficulty available. So if I go a little bit higher, one at a time with each character, or like maybe just on repeat, I might get a little bit better here and there. Now, I've never been able to play like even Street Fighter 2 at the max difficulty, but I have been able to play it like around towards the middle difficulty. Even if I go to like a harder difficulty, I might be able to play it, but not throughout the whole game. Like if I'm playing this in an actual arcade, like if playing Street Fighter 2 or 0 in an alpha in an actual arcade, I might just make it about halfway through. If I'm lucky, I'll get to like round 6. Which is one reason why I'm practicing with this arcade stick for arcade play. And also it's just fun. It's all about the fun. Interesting, he has like this little girl like following him. I don't know if that's him or if it's the stage. I think it's him. Mecha Shiva, Mecha Shiva. Throw his sword. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize he had like the Buster Sword when I was on the or whatever that you want to call it. When I was on the character select. Oh, that's strong. No! Oh, he got me with that, like, stand power. Like, he's a stand user. Which, funny enough, there's actually an official JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game with stands made by Capcom. It's for the Dreamcast, not the Saturn. And it's actually really cool. It's also on the PlayStation 1, but it's not on the Saturn. It's on the Dreamcast. So we probably won't get to that. Well, we might. I don't know. I could do Dreamcast games, potentially. I don't know if I'd have to buy a region-free thing for it, probably. Might have to take a break in a sec, guys. I really gotta go. You know what I mean? Oh my god, that was a scary move. That was like Zeus coming down at me. I know it's not Zeus, but it's like, what was that? It was scary. He is blocking me left and right here. Literally. How did... He's just blocking me left and right. There we go. He was just like non-stop blocking. Every time I jumped around him, it was still blocking. Okay, let's finish this fight. Blocking my beam. Oh my god, that was scary. Okay. I think he's got me. I think he's got me. Oh no. We're going to take a little break here and just to pause the video for a bit. And I'll be right back after these messages. Alright, now I've never really played as Sasquatch too much, so I don't know what I'm doing, so we may have to switch back to Morrigan halfway after I play Sasquatch, but I do want to show you some characters other than Morrigan, so here we go. Sasquatch. It's a big boy. Now Donovan is a blocker, seems like. Now I can get through it with that ice breath, apparently. Donovan is still blocking me left and right, which is nuts. Is it because I turned auto block on? If I had auto block off, would it affect that at all? I do not know. Now whatever kick I just did a ton of damage, so... Seems like... Oh my god, skeleton Sasquatch. Seems like Sass here is a heavy hitter. If I can actually break through the defense. See, I don't like it in fighting games where defense or block is completely... You don't take any damage at all. I like it when you take a little bit of damage from block. Oh, swirly foot. But he is not budging. There we go. Hit him with the backflip kick. We got a little snowman! Oh my gosh, so he's kind of like a Yeti. Not just a Sasquatch. It's my Papa Sauce. If anyone's seen the movie Tenacious D, or knows the song by Tenacious D about Sasquatch, that was my jam for a while. Through like a huge Sasquatch phase. But it's still kind of, like, I didn't really go away, but like... Yeah, I went through like, not just the character on this game, but like Sasquatch in general. Went through like this whole Sasquatch phase, like all this Sasquatch stuff. I still have a lot of Sasquatch stuff. But like, remember that Chewbacca I had? Brian's now. Going on to our Butter Plus. Oh, hit it. Try a little different move here. Back kick. Flip. Ah, the foot of God. He got me with the sword boomerang coming back. Like Australian boomerang. Is he That's probably not Australian. Have all these great monsters, and we have an Australian. Hope that didn't offend anybody, because it's not really that bad. I think he's supposed to be a monk slash, I don't know, like just a fantasy fighter? I don't know, like what would you call him? Like someone you might see in Dungeons and Dragons, but he's also a monk, but he's also got a sword. Usually when you see a monk in a video game, it's like he just does hand-to-hand combat, or maybe uses nunchucks. Or something like a pole, a staff or something, like a Donatello staff. But this guy has a sword, and he does like magic stuff. So he's like a monk. Not just that. He's also got the sword, which is a little different than most. Can probably get him. There we go. So that thing's crazy. It does damage, but it's like it electrocutes you too. All out. All out monsters attack. Come on. There we go. We beat Donovan with Papa Sasquatch. Nice. That was a tough fight. Now, we did a little bit better because we beat the fight. It was like, is he pulling his mouth? It's so weird. But we did a little bit better than we did on with Morrigan. I think it's just like by chance, like it just happened to be doing better. Now, Anakaris is a, I believe he was also in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so he might be familiar to some people more than the other fighters. But he's a pretty heavy guy, and he has a thing where he stretches his arms out, I believe. I haven't played him in this too much, but I did see him in real Marvel vs. Capcom 2 once again. Ooh, I've got a fun fact about Morrigan. Tell the game Tatsunoko vs. Capcom for the Wii, which is a great game, by the way. They never changed her model in any game outside of Darkstalkers. They never made any like improvements to her model design. They just kept reusing it, like in Capcom vs. SNK or Marvel vs. Capcom. Morrigan always looked the same until they made a 3D version of her because the game Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is a 3D game in a 2D setting. So until they did that, and they also made a separate new model for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is actually, I think, different than the model that they used in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, because they have different art styles. I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has a little bit, like, almost cel-shaded or, like, comic booky style to it, where everything looks, like, darker, whereas on Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, things are more smoothed out, I believe, from my memory. It's been a while since I played either of them. Oh my gosh, that was a wombo. Now, he didn't block as much as Donovan, so we cleared him pretty fast. What does Sasquatch have to say? What if we found Sasquatch in real life and he could talk and he just spoke Japanese? Like, extremely fluently, too. I don't know. And they might not have all the characters. If the next guy's the ghost... No, they don't have all the characters in arcade mode. Okay, so it's randomized, I believe. Random selection, but they don't go through every character because we didn't fight the Dracula guy yet, and we didn't fight the Frankenstein's monster guy yet, and we didn't fight, I think we fought... I hope the next one's the Frankenstein monster guy. We gotta focus. Ooh, he's shooting me. He's like a robot. Which I guess could be a monster, too. No! Slamma-jamma. Whoa, there's like a robot mech in the back exploding, too. Awesome. I like how each character has their own stage, and they have like a lot of animation going on in the background of this game, too. Which can be a little distracting, but it's pretty cool. Oh, there's another character we didn't fight. We didn't fight the samurai guy. I wanted to show him. I ran out of disk space on my computer. Should have enough time to finish this game, because there's only a couple more things left to do in it, apparently. So, alright, let's jump in with the second round of this Phobos character. Distracting me a little bit. That was easy. Sasquatch is such a heavy hitter. You can do like a simple combo, and if the opponent's not blocking, you get it at the right time, and you make a hit, it'll just do a ton of damage, especially compared to like Morrigan and other characters like that. Yeah, Sasquatch is probably a good pick for beginners, just because you can do like attacks. It's not as slow as I expected. So we do have Pyron for the final fighter. I wanted to show you the Frankenstein's monster guy, and I wanted to show you the Dracula guy, and I wanted to show you the samurai guy because he can cut people in half, which is kind of cool to see that. But I guess we won't see it today. Maybe I'll play this in the future, and if you do have this game, which I believe is on the Capcom Fighting Collection for Nintendo Switch and other consoles. Boom! Slamma-jamma. That was a little tough. That was tough. That was pretty crazy with some of the moves that Pyron was pulling off there. Got him good with that ice breath back in the fight. There's another ice breath, but he dodged it. Ice breath. I don't think it does that much damage, but it freezes him for a moment. Slamma-jamma. Oh, I got a lot of health, so I can play around a bit, but I don't want to play around too much. I don't want to get cocky here. This is not the fight to get cocky on. Just when you think you got him. There we go. We don't want the push-up. Nice. Sasquatch wins. A little snowman coming to help me out. Nice. Now, is there a final fight? Sometimes there is. Sometimes there not. It's okay. It doesn't look like there is. There's a cutscene. Oh, the seal mailman on his Vespa is delivering mail to Sasquatch and family. Ooh, the leader of the Sasses and the baby Sass. Oh my gosh. Look at these squatches over here. Looks so cute. He's got mail or something. A little tablet, maybe. Got a skull helmet. The king. Oh my gosh. It's a statue to the Sasquatch. Wow. I'm just like in awe that there's a character in a fighting game that's literally Sasquatch. I mean, they make him more like a Yeti because he's in the snowlands, but he's literally Sasquatch. Oh, and he has the power to kick through a tree with his Bigfoot feet. I gotta enter my initials. Happy Beard Games Ed. Nice. So we beat arcade mode of Darkstalkers, or Vampire Hunter Darkstalkers Revenge, for the SEGA Saturn. There's some text here. I'm not going to translate that today. But I could. Maybe I will. Maybe he will translate this text. So it's not too much. It's just one screen. We might translate that. We did some translation using Google Translate on last week's Famicom Friday. That's a trend that I did back a long time ago on Famicom Fridays. And it's a trend that I want to keep continuing. So maybe I'll translate that and a little bit of the manual. That's a cute picture. I like that picture. That might go on my cover. That's a cute picture. I like that. Okay, so we finished arcade mode. Now, as far as I know, you can't unlock anything. There might be cheat codes. We've got the credits here, too. So that text was not the credits, obviously. I think you can actually skim through it. I'm not sure. So there's a character that we didn't fight against, Dimitri, who's basically like a Dracula. Oh, are they going to show all the characters instead of just basic credits? I think the game I was thinking about where you could skip the credits fast was Street Fighter Alpha. That's a character that's interesting too. Victor, who's basically a Frankenstein monster, and he has some really cool attacks too that I kind of wanted to show you because I think they're really cool looking. But we didn't get to that. And then there's one more character that we didn't get to. Not him, that's the zombie. There's a character called Bishamon, I believe, and he's a samurai with a monster mouth for an abdomen, and he can rip people in half. It's crazy. It's really cool. Okay, there's Felicia. That's a nice picture. A man of culture, I see. There's that guy, Bishamon. He's crazy. He's kind of cool. I feel like if there's a character that I'd want to play, aside from Sasquatch, it might be Bishamon, because he's really interesting and he has some gory attacks. Oh yeah, we didn't fight against Owlbath either, the merman. I don't think we might have, but I don't remember. Either he was super easy and we went it super fast, or I don't think we fought him, but maybe we did. I don't remember. There's Sasquatch. There's Phobos, and then there's Pyron. I don't think there's any other characters. There could be some that are unlockable. There could be a secret character somewhere. There could be alternate things that I don't know about, but as far as I know... Oh, that's in English! Credits are in English so far. Yeah, thank you for playing. Capcom sound nice. Thank you, Capcom, for making this awesome game. Now loading. Now, I don't think you unlock any modes either, which is kind of disappointing. Street Fighter Alpha 2 has got Survival, Story, Arcade, and Versus. This one has Arcade and 2-player Versus. That's it. You got an options menu. So it's limited in scope compared to Street Fighter on the same console. But then again, this came out in 1996, so it's still pretty cool. And I've heard it's a pretty authentic arcade port too, which is always nice to have. Alright everybody, that's it for today's Famicom Friday right here on Happy Beard Games. We checked out the game Vampire Hunter, Darkstalkers Revenge for the Japanese region's SEGA Saturn console. It's a really cool two-dimensional fighting game from Capcom, similar to a Street Fighter, but with lots of cool monster characters. So it's right up my alley with like the horror theme and the monsters that you know and love, plus Sasquatch and a few others. And it's really interesting in the design and the characters. The art style is amazing. The soundtrack's amazing too. It's really fun. The only downside is it's limited in play modes because you only got arcade and versus with 2 players. And so there's no tournament, there's no survival, there's no story mode necessarily. There's a little bit of story in arcade, so it's kind of like combined. But yeah, it's pretty much just arcade. You can change the difficulty and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's a simple one-on-one, two-dimensional fighting game from Capcom with an awesome theme, awesome style, awesome controls too, and combos that you can pull off and stuff. There's things in this that I don't even know about, but I was still able to complete all of arcade mode successfully with just using 2 characters. One continue with Morrigan and Sasquatch. So I want to thank you for watching. Please be sure to check out my Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page for more. You can donate on my Coffee page. Leave this video a like, share with your friends, leave a comment, subscribe today for more classic gaming goodness. Alright everybody, stay tuned for more Famicom Fridays right here every Friday on Happy Beard Games. Thank you for watching once again. Bye!